What's up everybody, it's Supersmallchibiwolf here, and today I'm going to be talking about the amazing news of the Sony PSP. So let's get into this. So here we are with the first commercial. Now let's get this going. Nice Sony logo. You know, this is pretty good. You know, I see what they're trying. Wait a minute, let me give some. So, you know, PSP, come in, you coming home from maybe a long day of work, your cat greets you, you know, you turn on some PSP, going to enjoy after a long day's work. You know, you're having fun, relaxing, chilling, and the PSP is a part of that chilling and relaxing. And also, as you can see, this is really good too. You see, you have different types. You can listen to music, you can play video games, you know, mess around with photos and other things. You know, really good. Good night PSP, showing that, you know, you could enjoy with the PSP at nighttime after a long day's work. So, this is a really cool commercial. Really good. I love it. So here we are with the next video. Nice. Oh, it's like the sequel to the last one. You know? Nice. You know, I enjoy this one. And it's really cool. I'll go back and show. You see, like for example, you know, PSP comes on. It shows like the potential, what you could do. You know, you turn it on. You know, you're doing your thing, getting ready, you're getting the news, you know, you're enjoying your stuff. You can listen to music while doing home chores, such as maybe the dishes or vacuuming, as you can see. You see, it's a multimedia device. Many things could be done with the PSP, and it was really advanced for its time, especially for a gaming console. You know, listen to music, movies, download illegal stuff, like music, etc. You know, and nowadays, you know, used as ROMs in games. Yeah, man, the PSP really was like the most advanced gaming console, you know, even compared to like a PS2, which wasn't even portable, you know, that was home console. But hey, yo, you could even put the PSP on the TV with a special cable, depending on what model you have, of course. But yeah, really cool. I think this is a wonderful, you know, way to show that a gaming console, you know, it's a wonderful gaming console, but it's much more than just that. So advertisement wise, I think this is a perfect example of how to advertise the PSP. So here we are with the next one. Nice. That's an interesting thing. So basically you see like 27, 28, 29, you know, the days are passing by. You know, you're going camping, you stay in maybe a train or plane, you know, it's showing that it's going by. And you know you're waiting on the bus, so it's showing you like daily life activities and other things that you could do, you know. So instead of just being bored or whatever, you know, you have the PSP, you listen to music, you play your game, you're chilling 1v1 on some games, you know, on vacation, you know, you're chilling. Now I don't know if I've seen, let me see what games I could notice. You know, you movie, probably music wise, you know, they did have a background. One thing about PSP music wise is when you did have the music, you could like change the backgrounds and stuff, and like it, like one of them being like a disco type where it's like, you know, something like this, you know, this for example, you know, like you had like flashes of lights, like a club similar to that. You know, you got some Ape Escape, of course. You know, Ape Escape is wonderful, we all know that, you know. So yeah, they also had like, I believe this is a movie. So one thing that they had is the UMDs, you know, those discs, they could hold like movies and different things. So that's probably what this is, a movie. And yeah, pretty cool commercial, you know, it shows many things that you could do with it. I enjoyed. So here we are with the PSP 2000 multiplayer commercial. Nice. You know, this is wonderful, and just to give context, long story short, you know, when it came down to the Sony PSP, like for example, I'm going to compare it to the Game Boy because that's what I also know and grew up with. So Game Boy wise, you know, you had a link cable, connect the devices, and then you play together, right? But when it came down to the Sony PSP, it was all through, you know, they had other ways, you know, whether it's internet or other types of ways, you know, direct from console to console, they had that option. So it was really cool to play multiplayer, you know, you didn't need to worry about buying another accessory or etc. So it was really nice. And also, even if I know this and that, well, you know, when you're playing the PS3, you could use it as a controller of the PSP. So that's one thing that's interesting about Sony. So, you know, the friends, they're chilling, they're playing, they're gaming, enjoying. Really fun. And then you see the many wonderful colors, but that's going to be for the variant, you know, the wonderful years of the gaming consoles. But for now, really cool, wonderful commercial showing that everyone, let's game together. Next is the black PSP 3000 commercial. Oh, you know, it's interesting. You know, it could be like, you know, within the distance there's a light of hope. Boom, Sony PSP. You know, nice, short, to the point. Boom, Sony PSP. So here we are with the next commercial. I had to redo this due to the song and trying to understand a little bit more. I was a little confused, but many wonderful colors. You know, you got dark gray, black, lighter gray, the green, yellow, blue, red. And I love that, you know, they had many choices back then of different colors, different things that, you know, trying to fit each game, or, you know, being like, you know what, you enjoy this color, you enjoy, you know, the darker shade of colors, here you go, lighter shade, you know, maybe in between, something for everyone. It's really wonderful and cool. And also choice for you, you know, choose something wonderful, giving us many things. Now when it comes down to modern days, you know, Sony's, you know, somewhat does it with the controls, you know, but a lot of times it's usually the controls, you know what I mean? But the console itself, we don't see that much, you know. Look at the current PlayStation 5 Portable, or whatever they call it. You know, that's just one color. And then the PS5, just what you get in, maybe, you know, white. And I think they have a black version now, or gray. But yeah, and then PS4, you know, is one as well, you know. But the controls of the PS4 and 5, you know, it took time, but later on they did have many, you know, wonderful colors. PS4 controls, you know, had many great colors. Switch also had, you know, original. Now I'm surprised that in Switch 2 they just had one color. But besides that, when it comes down to it, I hope, you know, future gaming consoles and controllers, you know, get back to making more colors, you know, have like a yellow and a red and a blue, you know, have something like, wow, like shiny, and, you know, bring us in and be like, yo, this is cool, I enjoy, you know. Because if you're just gonna have basic white, black, gray, I think that's just boring, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, depending, you know, some game consoles, they have like special editions and stuff. Like, for example, I remember back then a gray PSP comes with like a, you know, special game, or you know, what was it? I think it was like a yellow PSP comes with another type of special game and stuff. So they do have specific exclusives, but besides that, I would usually go for a colored console. So yeah. Also, it's funny, you know, they're talking about jail in the song, which I was surprised. I thought I heard wrong, you know, how to redo this segment. But besides all that, I think this is a really cool commercial. Here we are with the next commercial. Nice. You know, you see these little colorful bubbles, keeping the interest. This is like a teaser trailer from, you know, back then. Or it also could be like, hey, here's the frame of the PSP. The bubbles keeping interest, being like, the possibilities that could be on it, you know. So yeah, really cool. I think this is an interesting commercial that could, you know, if looked at, it could be viewed in different ways, and I love it. Here we are with the next commercial. You know, what is that? I think that's like some puzzle game. So yeah, yo, you know, you have like, you know, a girl, she's getting a haircut, her hairdo, and then boom, many friends of ours, or maybe people around waiting to get their haircut, they're like, you know what, before getting stylish, let me see this game real quick. And as you can see, everyone's into it. Nice, short, simple, and fun. Here we are with the next commercial. Nice, they're in the court, they're taking it serious, but instead of playing the game, boom, they're gaming hard. Yep. And I think this is really cool, you know, like they each got their, you know, different colored PSP representing what they love and their personal use. And then, boom, we find out they're gaming. They're gaming while in the game court of tennis. So, yeah, really fun. I think when it comes down to it, you know, these types of commercials are really wonderful, you know, creative, different things, instead of just being like, boom, just the game itself. They had an idea, they created it, and it's fun. I think this is a great commercial. So here we are with the next commercial. This is the Ape Escape commercial, apparently. Oh. 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 Wait, what the hell is going on? She's probably telling him some news like, yo, you need to come back to the battlefield, man. It's not been the same without you. Oh. Yo, either she found someone or she found out that he found someone and confronting him. And damn, man, not just another ape, but an ape that cosplayed. Dude, you just lost your girl to an ego. Damn, yo. Oh, man. Dude, this was amazing. This is amazing. And damn, look at it. Damn, yo. There's a whole trio. The whole gang is right there. They took your girl and they went with their friends.
PlayStation Portable.
Damn, man. That's a whole new level up. But yeah, yo, this is a wonderful commercial. I love it. You see, we need stuff like this. This is what keeps interest in a console. You know, you get someone's attention, you tell us nice storyline, chaotic, weirdness, comedy, all together coming to make this amazingness. And also, cute actress. So, it's really wonderful. I give this my favorite so far, I think, because this was just like, wow, I love this commercial. So yeah. So here we are with the next one. Oh, another Ape Escape. Oh. Whoa. That's what. Yeah, okay, this is something else. So basically he's getting transported, you know, they're like, we need you. Boom. Rips off his clothes. His body is ready. He's about to go all out bananas in this PSP. And as you can see, that's what they made. Really wonderful. A really wonderful commercial. I enjoy it. So here we are with the next one. Nice. So, Schoolgirl coming up. What is that, Final Fantasy? Wait a minute, I had to. Yeah, some type of JRPG, I think. And then she's over there, she takes it, you know, maybe she's a Sunday, you know, takes it, and says, you know, has some good weight on it, and then, boom, she knows, although it's small, it's capable of many things, really great. She's like, let's chill later. I think this is a wonderful commercial, you know, PSP for everyone. So, here's the next one. Nice. Oh! That's really cool, you know. Oh man, right here, you know, you got a magician. Boom, he makes bug-free games right away. He even has his like bunny girl in the background, chilling. Boom, he's like the ultimate businessman, you know. Anything he touches turns into gold. Here it is, he's selling his idea to the shareholders. He's like, look, Pac-Man, game on the go. You play with everyone. Really great. Yep. That dude's trying to figure out how he did it, but he's never going to figure it out. Yep. A wonderful commercial. Here we are with the next one. The 2005 Sony PSP Final Fantasy VII Advent Children commercial. You got Yuffie, Yan, Tifa over there looking great. Yeah, and they're chilling. Yeah, man, you know, Final Fantasy, Sony, Square Enix, they coming together, and boom, all the fans come out. Really wonderful. Really cool. I think this was a wonderful commercial, you know, short, simple, and fun. So here we are with the next commercial. Nice. They talking about the accessories, having fun, chilling, and who I think is the older sister just comes up like boom. If they sell them, you know, like bang. And I enjoy this. They show like different colors of the PSP right there as well. You know, another way they could have advertised this is like, you know, the brothers, they just got their PSP. They're chilling. Sister comes, boom. I just got the best version. You know, you two got the basic black. I got a colored one. Boom. That would have been funny if they went that way too. So yeah, overall, I think these commercials are really wonderful, and this is one of my favorite too. So here we are with the next commercial. They're showing off the different colors, the different models, you know, being like, okay, here you go, here and there, and boom, they're all racing to see which is going to sell out first. You know, they're all excited.
PlayStation Portable.
Let me know which is your favorite color. This is really interesting and fun. I enjoyed this commercial. Here we are with the next one. Innocent or elegant? Soprano or bass? East, west? Fun or fun? They're asking really questions. They're cutting it deep and being like, you know what? We need to get to know people because, you know, we got two versions. The white debut and then the black version. So, really nice, you know. Get you thinking, get you excited to see and interested. Be like, you know, where is this leading to? And then, boom, white PSP.
PlayStation Portable.
Really nice. I like it. Next is the Tekken Dark Resurrection PSP commercial. Nice. He's chilling. You know, you got two waifus. They're cheering him on. Was that asking Kazama? Yeah. He's like beating everyone up and all that. Oh, he sees the. Look at that. That's the league. You know. He's like, who's number one? I need to take their place and their crown. And boom, Lily player. So he's like, nah. You know for sure why I'm here. Intense fighting poor Lily. And you could tell he's playing as Jin in there because the Lily's screaming the end of the feat. And boom. And he's still chilling. He goes home to fight another day. Wonderful commercial. Here we are with the next commercial. So, give context, long story short, this is a long video, so I'm going to be picking each one, like different ones, you know, going around and see which is cool. So this one is cool, you know, like it's interesting. Boom. They're working on the car, they're chilling, they're making sure it has gas, everything, you know. Ape escape. Yep. Many people would have thought, you know, maybe it's Gran Turismo, but nah, man, the apes are escaping and they're having fun. Yep, it's their turn to be on the track. Really cool. I love it. Full speed ahead. Boom. So skipping around, I found two commercials of the PSP that were cool. This one's nice, you know, he's working on the car, maybe his dream car, modifying it. Yeah, party time. Initial D, they're drifting, they're going at it. Yo, this could be like you've been Initial D, you know, just like quiet, and boom, they got you. And there's a second one. Yep. Really wonderful. Maybe I should look into that. Gaming has been dry recently, so maybe I should look into this Initial D. Yo, dude, it's great. There needs to be a modern Initial D game, man. I loved and enjoyed it. I never finished it, but dude,
Your PSP. My older brother keeps stealing my PSP. How do I get it back?
I guess he's not as dumb as he looks, huh?
come on, you know for sure, you know you have sibling, you have this and that. You know for sure if you have one console, it's going to be like this, you know. Yeah, whether it's the PlayStation, the Nintendo. Now, I would say, you know, the PSP, man, that really had many wonderful games, so this is justified. And then, but what I could say also is, you know, when you have like a good amount of music too, and you want to just chill and listen, damn, there's someone's using the PSP.
No, but seriously, he's got my Mod Nation racers.
Oh, he got him.
Now has the ability to customize cars built.
Maybe I'll do PSP Go, you know, maybe I'll cover that. I remember seeing that in stores one
Tracks
time.
and race with his friends.
Is there anything I can do?
If he's busy with your PSP, I'm sure his lady friend could use someone to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
And the look she gives, just like the betrayal. The dude's like,
Step your game up.
I like that, you know. Dude's like, step your game up. He's gaming over there, and he's about to become a player. Dude, this is some dark history, you know, Sony's building up back then. But
PSP.
man, Marcus, man, he's very brutal in these revenges. So yeah, way to go. Here's another crazy commercial I found, which I enjoy.
Rated 10 plus.
Squirrel, I know that cat. You bugging, man. That ain't no cat. That's an ox. What the cashew
I like to call this one like the ghetto squirrel commercial.
is an oxel? It's like when a weasel and an otter fall into a web of love. Like a mixed nut. Like when you had forest fever for that skunk and she sprayed you nasty. You think Daxter
Let's
has
see.
a sister? Yeah, I bet she's smoking like chestnuts on an open fire. Yo, I'd hit that.
Yo,
I'd hit that. I'd
Dude.
hit that. I'd hit that. I'd hit that.
Daxter.
yo, dude. The PSP Sony was at a different level. They were wonderful, man. They did not care for anything. That's how it should be, man.
PSP. I'd hit that.
Bring back commercials like this, man. This is funny and great, you know, just dark comedy. Be like, you know what? Who cares? Bang! Amazing. I like giving appreciation and love to the video game characters that are on with us today. But we all remember, you know, true fans remember. Here we go, you know, it's chilling. Toro the cat, ladies and gentlemen, Sony's abandoned mascot. So sad. You see, Astrobot got a game. Where's Toro the cat's game?
でも一緒どこまでも一緒
結婚
PSP
So peaceful, so innocent, and all this wonderful just for Toro the cat. I enjoy this. To celebrate the new Metal Gear coming out, here's a commercial. Look at that, Solid Snake's origin story when he was a student. Wonderful. Gale and all.
俺さずっと前から好きでだから俺と付き合ってほしい
僕の段ボールに入ってください段ボール
Oh, yo. Yeah, I like that. Look at that.
僕の段ボールに入ってください段ボール
She thought she was gonna get saved, you know. But nah, man, this is not the Super Mario games. This is not the Legend of Zelda. You're not the princess. He's like, dude, we need to get stuff done. Let's go. And then chilling. Konami, you win in this one. Hopefully, Konami wins in the, you know, with the remake coming up, you know. And it's wonderful. So let's see what's next. Nice. It's like you're going throughout the lands, adventuring, you know, playing PSP. No matter where you go, you'll always have fun. You see? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the music part of the console. You know, you're playing some music and yeah, you're watching some movies and other things. Interesting, you're snowboarding, chilling.
Everywhere just got better.
Really cool. I like that show commercial. Here we are, Street Fighter 03 or Alpha 3. And wow, man, amazing game. I love it. Now, when it comes down to the Sony PSP, you know, Street Fighter Alpha 3 or 03, you know, it's great. It's one of my favorite games on the PSP, and the original Street Fighter Alpha 3 on the PlayStation 1 unit, it's amazing. You know, the classic Street Fighter, yo, you can't go wrong with it. And the commercials, always fun to watch. And yo, it's exciting and great. Yo, Maki is underrated. I hope that, you know, she makes a comeback. She's really cool. And also, I would also say Ingrid. Yes, she's also cool. And I'm happy both of them are in this game. There we go, Ingrid. She's really cool as well. Yeah, and that's the amazing commercial. So here we are with the last video to review. This is the PSP launch advert, A Day in the Life 2005, 20 years of play. This was out last year. So if I did this video last year, it would be on topic. But now it being 2025, it passed the anniversary. So that was the last year. So I think this is a good way to end it off, you know. Nice. Look at that. Dun-dun. PlayStation just going all in. You know, I wonder, will Sony ever go back to a handheld gaming device? Like, let's make exclusives for this handheld and this and that. Last one was the Vita, and yeah, I wonder, you know, interesting to see where they will go in the future with all this stuff. Hey, they're fighting and all. You see, like they're playing, but boom, the fight's outside, and they were really creative. It was really great to see. all the possibilities.
PSP is here.
You know, I'm surprised because it says 2014 uploaded by the official YouTube channel of PlayStation. Interesting, you know? Really cool. I guess it was still going strong over there in the world. So, I love it. So after going back and talking about the amazing news of the Sony PSP, I had fun and I hope you all enjoyed as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.